We're back! And so are my lights, along with some other decorations. They won't be around that much longer, but we're back! So hello, and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is another coffee mug that my daughter found at the grocery store for me. We weren't even looking, and she found this one that said Noel. And it was on sale because it was after Christmas, or very close to the end of Christmas, or something like that. Anyway, so there is our Noel mug. This is the last Christmas mug of the season. And yeah, it's another one that's as big as my head. Love them big coffee mugs around here. And in our big Noel mug is the Pinky Up Peppermint Macaron Herbal Tea. As I recall, we had issues with this. It wasn't very strong. So this time, even though it's a big mug, we put in, well, especially since it's a big mug, we put in 2 tea bags. We'll have to see if that helps. Just because of the size of the coffee mug, it probably won't. But we will give her a sip and we will go ahead and get started. Still think she smells beautiful. Just wish the flavor lived up to it. It's very hot. It's very hot. Okay. We're getting some of that sweet. I mean, I even tried to reduce my sugar a little bit for this one. And we're getting some of that sweetness in there. Just a touch, just a hint of the peppermint. Yeah, just a hint of the peppermint. We're going to let it sit and see how strong the peppermint and all that gets towards the end of our video as usual. However, if this is one of those that takes 2 tea bags to get the amount of strength for me, it would not be worth it to repurchase because it would be even more expensive than my stash teas. So, yeah, unfortunately. However, it's tasting good right now. Let's hope it's tasting good towards the end of our video. So I hope you all had a great Christmas. Ours was interesting. Usually we have all the kids get here and they stay here at one time for several hours. I have one daughter that will come in and then she will leave and then come back. I will say that. But usually they all get here and we all stay here. No, they sort of migrated in and migrated out individually. It was a very, very unusual Christmas. And we had extra children here. It was a very unusual Christmas. Not a bad one, just unusual. I hope yours was a good one and that you got all your wonderful gifts that you were hoping for, and that your family had a wonderful time, and the food was good, and the company was good, and there were no political arguments. Yeah, let's hope. Anyway, so today we are shopping our stash. I have to say that I had some issues with last month's stash. Some of it had to do with just starting to wind down into the 2 days a week, which we are now into officially. Some of it had to just do with the items I picked out. Somehow they just weren't working for me. I was having trouble choosing items. It was just an interesting month. But let's talk about the stuff that was in our stash from last month, and the stuff that I'm going to keep and the stuff that I'm going to remove. So the first 3 things that were in our stash from last month is this Sugar Brow definer. I'm going to keep this in. It is almost there. I swear this thing is like just determined to stick around for as long as possible, but we are almost there. I don't think I will get to it, finish it off by the end of the month for the Reverse Rouge, which will be coming a little late for this month, but it will be coming. I might get it done by then, but at this point, this sucker just seems to want to hang on. But we're trying to get it done, and so we're going to keep it in. The Lancome brow boost, eyelash booster, we're keeping that in. I'm actually really surprised with the Buxom right now. Going to keep it in, but I suspect by the middle of January I'll be taking it out because I'll be ready to fully review it. Also keeping in at this point is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow. That's what I've been using. All of this stuff is stuff that I've used today. That's one of the reasons why I'm talking about it now. It won't be in the thing. The Take Home the Bronze in Oscar. I've been using this. She's actually just a touch too light, even for my winter skin. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it in, but I'll probably pull in something else to help deepen it up to blend it with. So we'll keep that in. The Hourglass. On the one hand, I like the fact that this Hourglass powder, this is their Veil. Yeah. Their Veil loose setting powder. On the one hand, I like the fact that it's not white, so I don't get the lightening effect. If anything, it brightens a little bit because it is, it's kind of a yellowish beigey base color. It's not a white. However, I am finding that this is making me very, very dry around my chin area. It clings in weird ways around my nose. So this will be removed from, we'll be replacing the powder because there's just, this is a no. I'm not at all impressed with it. I will do a much fuller review on it when, probably not much more fuller than this, but it's going to go in the box for review because I'm not enjoying this powder at all. Another thing that was in there was our, for the third month in a row, I think, second or third month in a row, is my indie brand singles. I am going to keep this in there. I actually have an idea of how to finally get to some of my indie brand reviews and also give you guys looks with those indie brands. So we're going to keep these in. I will say that having worked with them today, I didn't do very good on my color selections. There's too many browns, and the purples are pretty, but the reds, a couple of the reds are more neutral, and I ended up, I don't know why I picked such, I mean, they look colorful, but when I put them on, they seem to come up almost neutral on me, so very odd. But I'm going to keep them out and keep playing with them, and then I have a way to work with them. You'll see them again at the end of the month before we do our, at the end of January before we do our next Shop Our Stash. So what else was in our stash? Now some of these things, I have a couple things that came in late, and I have something that I will be putting in. I'm going to give the one that I'm putting in. I'm going to be putting my Suva Hydra Liner back in. Worked with it today. It's been a while. I think I probably should try to use this a little bit more because of the consistency, the type of product it is. It probably will not last as long as the eyeshadow that I typically use to line my eyes, so we're going to keep that in. I've added in a couple of things from boxes and stuff, but the first thing that I added in was this, well, not the first thing, but it was this blush from Ciate that came in our BoxyCharm. I'm going to keep that in. I'm actually really enjoying that. I know there's a big controversy with the ingredients on it right now, but I'm actually enjoying that, and I think the color is really good. My last thing from BoxyCharm that I'm going to receive for a while, I got with my points, and it's the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Ballerina. And it's a highlighter that I'm actually wearing today. And it's a beautiful highlighter. It's got a kind of a peachy, oh, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Our peachy glow kind of going on with it. I really do actually enjoy it. So I'm going to keep that in as well. All right, so other items that are in here, let's get through them. The Pat McGrath. I have to say I've used it a few times. Some of the colors don't look touched. I actually tend to go into the gold more than anything. I think I'll go ahead and keep that in for now, but I've got to say I don't understand the hype at this point. The You're Dreaming, my Christmas palette. This is going to go out. The Urban Decay metals, urban metals. I can't even remember what they were. What was the name of this? Heavy metals, that's what it was. The Heavy Metals palette. This is going to go back, going to be put back away. The Winky Lux. I'm just going to go ahead and throw these into my lipstick drawer and take them out. I've used them a couple of times, but not very often, honestly. I like the formula. I think the problem is the size, honestly. It's just, they're so small, and they're hard to work with for me because they're just so small. There's not a whole lot to hold on to or anything like that, unfortunately. So these are going to go back and be put away. The Milani Banana Setting Powder is a staple, so that stays. I'm going to finally take my Becca Vanilla Quartz out. I love the highlighter. I've used it frequently this month, but I have another quad that I'm going to be trying out, which means I'm also going to be taking out the Milani Strobe Light, which I have not used all that much over the last month, so that's going to be put away. The Focal Point in Luxurious Bling from Colored Rain is also going to be put away. We have a lot of those. I'm going to keep the e.l.f. in there, my e.l.f. blush. I actually like this blush. I do think these colors are fairly different. They might be really similar. No, one's darker than the other. So there's the differences. One is, this is more of a berry. This has more of a pink tone, and this is a little deeper, so we're going to keep both of those. And then I got a Tarte blush in my Ipsy bag. I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. I haven't played with Tarte for a while. I've had Tarte blushes in the past. I do enjoy them. So it's not like I need to really say much about it. I really do enjoy them. The Urban Decay waterline is going to stay. Haven't used it much, but I have used it a few times, so it's going to stay. I've used the Ciate Eye Luster once or twice. I'm going to keep it for now. I've used my Sephora, I believe, well, I think these are, the name is unusual. It's like Lip Liner to Go, only this is something, this is a lipstick. I am going to keep this one in. I have used it a couple of times. It's a perfect color. It's that berry color that I really love, so I'm going to go ahead and keep that one in. I have only used the Lancome Ombre pencil once or twice this month. It's a beautiful pencil. It's something that would work underneath my eyes very well, underneath my brow, I should say, very well. I just don't reach for creams very much, but I'm going to keep it in and keep trying to use it. And then we got our foundations. We've got a primer that I'm working on for reviewing, so I'll keep those in. And then we have this metallic gloss, which I haven't used at all, so I'll keep that in. So those are the things that I'm keeping in for now. Put them back. I'm going to put all this away. I'm going to put all my other stuff away. And then I'll get you turned around, and we will go through my drawers and figure out a few other things to keep. Or to add. Not to keep. So there has been a little bit of shuffling around here. Things are actually closer to my chair, and there's actually more space behind my chair and on the other side of my chair for people to get through the room. So I'm going to have to look around for things in different boxes. This is my palette box that people have given me. Items that, for birthday presents, this was my first PR, my only PR item at this point. So these have all been gifts that have been given to me in one way or another, and just put them in their own little box off to the side, because I tend to declutter organically without thinking about what I'm doing. And do I want anything from here? Probably should try to use that up, but it's all brown. See, one of the reasons I still have this is because it was a gift. And that's why I haven't gotten rid of it. Otherwise, because it's all browns, it probably would have gotten decluttered. But I think I'll go ahead and take the Huda Obsessions, my little electric palette, out. I have another palette that I want to bring out that's going to need a little addition of color. So we're going to go ahead and take that out. And nope. It's not in there. Alrighty, so we got the Huda out. Let's go over here to my other boxes. Here we go. My other boxes, my other drawers. So one of the things I need is a powder, preferably not matte right now. I think I'll go ahead and use the Bad Habit one. I really like that powder. I'm really upset that Bad Habit no longer exists. This is also where I have my highlighters, and my daughter and I recently saw e.l.f. at Kroger, and they have this cute little highlighter, but that's going to go in as my highlighters. A couple of those colors look pretty close to the same, but we'll take a look at them under the light. So that's going to be my highlighters. And then I said we need something to help with that bronzer, and this is what we're going to use. I don't think I have anything else in there that's a bronzer, really. I have the Huda. I have my bronzers in here. Those are blushes. That's blushes. That's a blush. Well, I could use the Gigi Gorgeous. I'll use the Gigi Gorgeous. I actually don't have a problem with the Gigi Gorgeous. So we'll take that out. So I did declutter. There's quite a bit not in here anymore. I just sent it on its, well, it's not on its scent yet, but it's in the Project Beauty Share box. The palette I want isn't in here. It's in here. And it's my new Hip Dot. So I'm going to take out the new Hip Dot. This is the Opulence palette. It's a beautiful palette. It does have colors. It's just not as bright as some of the others. But we'll take a look at that in a little bit. But that's the palette I'm going to put out. And there's my little basket that has all the stuff I've worn today. And as you can see right on top is everything but that Hourglass is going to be going back into my thing. So we're going to keep that. No. So out of my sample drawer, I actually got a new Sephora lipstick. It's the cream lip stain. I'm going to go ahead and take that out for sure. Since I have a lot of lippy colors, I don't need that right now. I don't need that right now. That's another Sephora, isn't it? No. What are you? Eben? Never heard of them. 24-hour daily jelly lip gloss. I think I'll take that out. This is mascara. Another Eben. It's another lip color. All right. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. We are running out of samples, folks, but that's what we're going to go with. Alrighty, so that was very quick. I'm going to turn you guys back around, and then we'll finish this up. So I know I usually show you guys the drawer after I put everything in there, and we will still be able to do that. It's just going to be a little bit different. All right, so the first thing that we're adding in is the Hip Dot Opulence palette. This is a beautiful palette. It is it's Christmassy, but it's got some other colors that are not really Christmassy in it. All these browns and oranges on the bottom are really good colors as well. They're just nice and warm. But as you can tell, they're not very bright. They are colorful, they're just not very bright. So I wanted to bring in something a little bit brighter with the Huda palette. This is her Electric Obsessions. I do believe this is still available. And as you can see, she is very, very bright. This yellow is one of the first yellows I've tried that actually shows up on my skin. So, not a big fan of Huda for various reasons, but we already own it, so we're going to use it. And the various reasons didn't happen until after it was gifted to me, so we'll just use it. We're going to use it. So those are going in, and then we have the Gigi Gorgeous bronzer set. This actually worked really well for me, and I think that this darker color will actually help bring up some of the lighter shades of Oscar, and I do have a use for this shade here, which is basically I use it under my eyes to help clean up when my eyes have been weepy and stuff like that. So we're going to keep that. New powder is going to be Bad Habit, which I really enjoy. Let's take a look at these. These are our e.l.f. highlighters. It's Illuminating palette. There are 4 colors. 2 of them are very, very similar, but this one is on the pink side. This one's more on a beigey side. So even though the colors are similar, they're kind of different. Let's take some swatches. That first one looks a lot more yellow than I expected it to look. But here we go. Oh dear. Houston, we have a problem. They're coming up powdery without a lot of color. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try to play with this and see if it'll actually highlight my face. From what I'm seeing here, I'm not holding my breath. It's just, I don't know. So I'm going to reach over in my drawer and find myself another highlighter or something. So I'm going to make this easy, and I'm going to take my Strobe of Genius. This is a good highlighter palette. I actually really, really enjoy this. I really enjoy the colors on it. NYX is a very affordable brand. They are not necessarily considered like a top-notch brand, but you can at least see the highlighters on my skin. They're doing what they're supposed to do. They aren't, you know, like you're not getting that kind of glossy shine, but they do have a bit of a shine and they can be built up. So we're going to use those and let's see if we can get the other one to work. Not holding my breath at this point. And then we have the Sephora lip stain. I believe I had another one of these. Either had or have in a different color. This is in the color... Where's your color? You aren't going to tell me your color. Sephora's kind of weird in that it gives its lip products numbers. I thought I saw a color on here. Where's the color? Ah, it's on the front. It's called Red Velvet. It looks like it's a bluey red color, which is my preferred color for lip products. Oh, it's going to come up really pink. Well, not really pink. Just kind of pink. Just more pinky. On the screen, it has an orangey cast. What I'm seeing is a bluey pink, borderline red. It's not quite red. It might come across. My screen that I'm seeing right now is showing a totally different color than what I'm seeing on my hand. So that'll be interesting to try. And then this is Eben New York 24-Hour Jelly Lip Gloss Long Last Lip Wear in the color Allison. She looks like she's going to be a pinky kind of red too. Or just maybe just a pink. So it looks really red in the jar, but it's really pink. That's fine. I don't mind if my gloss goes on the pinky side because like this color, I could put a pink over it and it would lighten it up, but it wouldn't turn it pink. It would just lighten up the color some. So that works for me. I can use this as a color adjuster. That's fine. Alrighty, so let me pull this drawer out and show you guys what's in here. I've kind of gone a bit more conservative with most of my stuff. I mean, I do have all my basics down in my basket, so they aren't in here. I do have a little plethora of lip colors in here, but that's okay. I like that. That's fine. But let me pull this out. See, told you I could still show you. So here's our drawer. She's pretty full. And we just got all the little things down there. And you know what? As I'm looking at this, I think I want to add one more. I've got another palette that I've used down here. Give me a minute. So I have, what I was thinking of adding in is the Violet Voss Bright Vibes. This is a beautiful palette. I've actually used some of it today. The pigmentation is gorgeous. The colors are very blendable and smooth, and they do, like, I can put them in to adjust other colors, so they work very well, but they're all mattes is my only issue with them. And it works really well with its little itty bitty twin that is all shimmers, the Sparkling Cherry Limeade palette. I want to put one of these in there. I'm going to put the vibes in there. I'm going to put the vibes in there. We are going to try to work with a little bit more matte. So we now got the vibes in there as well. We'll put the Cherry Limeade away. There we go. All right, so now it looks a little more full. Probably a little more challenging to use, but I think I'll really enjoy it. And I do have plans for the bottom palette down here, so that for a video for it. And that's all of our stuff. We've got a couple of backups for things that may not work, and we've got some more bright colors, vibrant colors. I've been picking colors lately that are a little less vibrant for the season, so I'm kind of glad that I went ahead and chose a really vibrant palette to put in there to help with what we're doing. Anyway, so that is it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, it was a little less klutzy today. A little less all over the place. Having everything kind of compacted together helps. And everything's easy to reach, so it's a little easier to get around and show things without being all over the place. And I think that's pretty good. So that was nice. So if you like what you've seen and you're into shopping your stashes, I'm going to continue that into 2020. Good Lord. Oh, good Lord. But if you're interested in those kinds of videos and you're not subscribed, well, would you please subscribe? We'd really appreciate that. And if you do subscribe, please hit the notification bell so you know when I upload. I am going into, as of now, this is the first official, we did it last week for Christmas. This is the first official Monday of our Monday, Friday uploads. So we are going down to 2 times a week. We'll see how that works. However, we do have bonus videos, which includes indie brand openings, subscriber mail unboxings. My son unboxes his My Geek box every month. And in the summer, if we're up to doing it, we do garden videos. We do container gardening here because I love how food tastes when you make it yourself. Well, make it and grow it yourself. Honestly, there is a taste difference between growing and having it go straight from your garden into your pot and having to go out and buy it and bring it home. The food at the store is not quite as flavorful as the stuff that is right there. It just isn't. So we probably will. We just have to figure out how to work around the weather issues. Anyway, if you're interested in any of those, you will need to have that bell click so you know when they go up, as they do not go up on our regular days. I just don't. And if you're part of my notification squad, you'll probably want to check both your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active. They should be. I haven't had any issues. Let me know if you've had issues. I don't think there's been any issues recently, but we all know YouTube. Somebody will do an update on the code and things will fall apart again. That's just how it is. Anytime you update anything. Facebook does it. YouTube does it. Everybody does it. They update something and everything goes boom. It's just how it is. And if you choose not to subscribe, well, we would be very sad and disappointed. However, you're always welcome here because we love having the company. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. That does not need to be as big as your head. And honestly, it doesn't even need to be tea. Bring what you want, what you enjoy. Coffee, wine, beer, a shot of whiskey, whatever. Hot cocoa. Really thinking about hot cocoa right now. Yeah. Anyway, so this has been steeping for a little while. Hopefully those 2 bags have actually done it justice and we're still going to get good flavor and it won't have faded out the way it did the first time I tasted it. I do believe that's what happened, even though it's in a big mug. So we're going to give her a sip and we'll be on our way. Okay, so the peppermint is delicate, but it's there. Definitely came out much better this time. It is a tea that I could see me enjoying. Definitely getting the mint and all of that. However, the fact that I have to double bag it and the fact that it's probably more expensive than my stash teas is a little concerning. So, as much as I like it, can't say it's a favorite, and I probably wouldn't repurchase it. However, if you like mint, but you don't want it to be overpowering, this would probably be a good tea for you. Alrighty, that's it for the day. You have a great one.